This has been a really long journey to ordination for me. And these are sticky notes that I keep on my desk as a reminder of the people that have loved me and prayed me through every step of that journey. And so on these sticky notes are written the word yes, because my original recommending charge in Oklahoma, Acts 2 United Methodist Church in Edmond, Oklahoma, they gathered around an ad council table one day about 8 years ago, and they voted on me as a candidate for ministry out of their church. And they did it on yellow sticky notes. And so these are all of the yeses unanimously that supported me and prayed for me and blessed me and commissioned me out of that congregation to go and explore what God was doing in my life and how God was calling me into ministry.
I love the United Methodist Church because we believe not only about personal salvation, but salvation for the whole world. And I see that lived out in our community by serving people that need food security and people that have been marginalized by the church. And I think about the story of when my cousin and I were talking several years ago about people that just thought that they were just saved to go to heaven. And then I thought about Matthew, the verse in Matthew that says, when you do it to the least of these, you've done it unto me. And I believe that's one of the beautiful things about the United Methodist Church is that we do both, personal holiness and social holiness.
What I love about the United Methodist Church and the church that I've been called to serve is our overwhelming message of love and grace. And I get to see that every day in my ministry with our neighbors around us and with our preschool families here on campus. But most recently, we started a brand new ministry with the high school next door, Thomas Jefferson High School. And they called us and they had a couple of students who are homeless and they wanted to see if we could come meet them and see if there were ways that we could assist them as they're graduating and preparing for adult life. And out of that conversation came a 4-week pilot program to just go to the school and take lunch to these students who are experiencing homelessness and get to know them, their names, their stories, and answer their questions about how to do life as a grown-up. And as we did that, we got to know some really amazing students. And on the very last day, which was just a few weeks ago, one of the young women, she's a freshman in high school, came up and asked me for a Bible, which I got to bring with me and to the school, which is amazing in and of itself. And she said, you know, when I was living with my grandmother as a younger kid, I was going to church every Sunday and it was very much a part of my life. And now that I live with my dad, he's of a different faith, and it's not that he's against Christianity, it was just not really a part of our rhythm, it's not a part of our life. And I feel like I want to get back to that. I just don't know how. And so she asked me for a Bible and she asked me how to read it. And she had me marking pages with her. And, she took down my phone number so if she had questions, she could call me. And, I told her, we love you, God loves you. And my favorite thing to tell people is that no matter what you've done, God loves you still. And that's the message of our Methodist faith, of our denomination. And I love being able to share that with people, that no matter how bad you've been, no matter how good you've been, there's nothing you could do that could ever shake God's love for you.
I find hope in our work and our 3 simple rules when our community, our congregations are doing that, which are do no harm, do good, and stay in love with God.
This area around Walnut Hill was devastated by a tornado back in 2019. The church took a direct hit as well, and so our community, our neighborhood has been in recovery since then. And it was just in the last year that we were able to welcome back the schools that completely lost their campuses. And so watching our people come around them and build community again and remind them that they're still our neighbors, we still love them, and we're really glad to have them home and be able to welcome them back in that way. It brought me a lot of hope.
My hopes for the United Methodist Church are that more people like me that are LGBTQ will be accepted and loved. There's been so much harm done to our community that they will be accepted and loved, and that their calls will be affirmed. But that also extends to marginalized communities as well. And I think about the migrants that are coming up, just seeking a job and a better life, and how the political firestorm has come out against them. And my hope is that they will be accepted and loved as well.
My hope for the United Methodist denomination as a global church
is that we would continue to be a place where all people are loved and welcomed and included, and know that they can look a little more like Jesus today than they did yesterday, regardless of where they are. That we would be able to hold that tension with humility and faith and prayer and courage, and be that via media that the Methodist Church has always been, rather than getting caught up in all of the conflict and tension that we've been really held hostage by for so long. Back in 2018, I went with Perkins School of Theology to Israel, and our tour guide gave me this, sorry I get emotional, gave me this stole. And I didn't know, and he didn't know, that I would be able to be ordained in the United Methodist Church. So to me, this annual conference this time is hope. Not only hope for me, but for all people that have been marginalized from the church or by the church.